if we lean on love and we lean on respect, lean on those two words, love and respect, what it means to me, because if it means that way to you, in most cases, it means that way to the next person. If we lean on those two things, love and respect, we can get a lot accomplished.
Love and respect. Those are powerful, powerful words. And it's all intertwined through the Bible and the word.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And and like I say, it's a feeling. I mean, because even before we could write words, we had to get through with communication some way, somehow, right? So if we're two beings that really can't communicate, but if I come and hug you, this feels nice, you know? But if I come and punch you, I don't like that. So either I'm gonna punch you back or leave. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just it's we get back into the humanity that's in us no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a moment after loss when you realize you don't just miss what you've lost, you miss yourself, who you were, what you stood for, where you were going. My friend, mentor, and business partner, Helen Blocker Adams, she's lived in that moment, which is exactly why she's created one-on-one coaching for women who are ready to stop grieving who they used to be and start stepping into a new reality of who they're becoming. This is your turning point. Ladies, this is your turning point. And I hope you hear me clearly. So please visit unusualdetermination.com and take the first step today. Visit unusualdetermination.com and take the first step today.
Reset to Reinvent podcast was created for women navigating life's toughest challenges, and she's ready to rebuild and thrive. It is for the woman whose life has been interrupted by loss of any kind, a loved one, a career, a marriage, a diagnosis, an identity. Hi, I'm your host and your problem solver, Helen Blocker Adams. And each episode, my guests and I inspire and empower. We offer hope, guidance, and actionable strategies for resilience. Let's get ready for Reset to Reinvent podcast, where your hardest chapter becomes your greatest comeback.
Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 67 of Reset to Reinvent podcast, where your hardest chapter becomes your next comeback. I am your host, Helen Blocker Adams, also your problem solver on this beautiful day. And so glad that you're with us here today. And, you know, we're still in the month of June, and June is Men's Health Month. But check this out. There is a special focus this month in celebrating and recognizing men's health, where the focus is to destigmatize men's mental health. And when I saw that, and I have a friend, as a matter of fact, he's a cousin of mine on my dad's side of the family, who, you know, we don't see each other that often, okay, except on Facebook, but he posts a lot about mental health and makes comments about mental health, and so regular that I'm like, you know, I need to have him join me on my podcast. So I ran into this young man at sadly a mutual friend's funeral, and that's when I asked him. I said, "Hey, look, you know, I'd like to have you be a guest on my podcast." And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And we set it up. So let me tell you a little bit about Drew McCoy. He is an entrepreneur. He's a finance professional, technology specialist, content creator, and an advocate, a passionate advocate for men's mental health. He holds a master's degree in finance and a bachelor's degree in management information systems. He has spent his career at the intersection of business, technology, entrepreneurship, and community impact. And I want to welcome you, Drew McCoy, to my podcast today. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a real honor, and it's I'm glad to be on the show. And thank
Well,
you.
I am glad that you're
How are
here.
you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I am doing great. This has been fun producing this podcast, being episode 67. I mean, it's and this is weekly. Every Monday.
Okay.
We drop a new episode every Monday, and I've been passionate about the subject of mental health for quite some time, Drew. And I have to tell you that every time I would see something on your page, something that you responded to, or something that you posted, and I'm like, wow, Drew, he's pretty passionate about men's mental health. And so let me ask you this:
hmm
what got you? I mean, are you in the mental health field? There was nothing in your bio that gave me any indicator that that's a part of your background. But tell me, what got you passionate about mental health, and then in specifically men's mental health?
No problem. What got me started was actually my own experiences and what I've learned and things I've done to keep myself patient, keep myself at a pace to still stay focused on goals and tasks that I have. I'm also being in the financial industry, you learn to plan for the future. So when you learn to set goals for yourself, you 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 learn to stay on task regardless of the obstacles.
Right.
The goals is what kept me going, knowing that, hey, I know I'm going through this situation. This is tough. I may feel this way. I may feel like doing that. But then you look at the consequences and you got to remind yourself, at least remind myself. I had to remind myself to just stay on goals, stay on task. And that's what got me through. However, I know there are a lot of friends of mine personally, a lot of men out here who don't see the future. They see what's going on right now. And then what happens is that their emotions get into play. Their emotions get into play. And once the emotions get into play, it just leaves them open to react in certain ways that can be detrimental to their lives and others.
So you said from your own experience, is that anything you'd like to share with us to give us an
Just
idea of what you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. Just my own personal experiences, my own family experiences,
Hmm.
experiences with kids, experience with life, goals, bills, the pressure of being a man, having to provide and stick with these certain stick with these certain tasks that
Expectations.
we're what's the word? We're certain tasks that we're
Expectations.
supposed
Yeah.
to live up to.
Okay.
And so once again, it to us, to men, it can be a very frustrating situation
Mhm.
because not only it does these tasks affect our emotions, our mentality, but then we have nobody to talk to about it. Or we feel like we have nobody to talk to about it. And so now
Mm.
you feel like you're on an island, you're feeling alone, and then that's where you have to learn to lean on friends, lean on hobbies, lean on trips, anything to get your mind off of what's happening in that moment, if that makes sense to you.
So there really is I mean, we hear it all the time in terms of the pressures men have, Black
Hmm.
men in particular. You
Hmm.
know, because when a Black female and and the pressures that we have are different. But it just seems like because you know the man is supposed to be the head of the household, the
Right.
breadwinner, the this and that, and this and that, and so all of those kind of collide. Is that what the issue is? And that how some men just aren't able to cope with all of that going on at one time?
Yes. Yes. It's a lot of pressure on us. A lot of pressure. We we handle it well. Well, many of us handle it well, but it is a lot of pressure on us. But what adds more to the pressure, once again, is the fact that when we find ourselves trying to express our emotions about it, you know, we don't trust others to allow us to be vulnerable in that moment. We feel like it's going to be pushed back on us. We're going to be looked at as weak. We're going to be seen as anything other than what we know we are. But now we find ourselves having to explain ourselves, and it just makes it even more frustrating. So many of us just go on about the day. Don't say it. But once again, there are those who will let it compile. And that's when it becomes a problem.
And the problem is suicide, domestic violence,
Family side,
self sabotage type things. Is that what you're talking about?
family side as well.
Ah,
Anything, anything that, um, anything that we would deem as unacceptable.
wow. Men are, you know, macho men. And we think about, um, there's been a lot of men, Black men in particular, um, dying by suicide. Young men like yourself and younger, football players, you know, basketball players, you know, just a whole range. And in some people's mind, it's like they're on top of the world, you know, like the football
Hmm.
player several months ago. I mean, he had just done something spectacular in a game previous to that, and then the next week, you know, he find out he died by suicide. So what can be done if this is happening more and more? And maybe, you know, I guess, are there organizations? How do how do we help to minimize this so that it's not becoming an epidemic? Now, this whole domestic violence, men, you know, killing and shooting their wives and their girlfriends. Now that's an epidemic. I don't know if that's tied in with mental health or is that person just a doggone mean person, you know?
It's
So there's a
it's a mix.
balance there too, from that stand in my mind.
Yeah, no, no, no. Because what I don't want to do is get into any type of like victim blaming or pointing fingers or anything. I'm sticking it straight on men's issue and what goes on in most men's head. I can't, like I said, I can't speak for all men, but
Right.
I think I can speak for most.
Okay.
Once again, it goes back to things that are, you know, just built up. You know, things might have been said. He might have been emasculated for so long. He might have felt like he need to prove himself so long. You know, a
Mhm.
lot of men do things to prove their manhood, you know, like, oh, you're not going to talk to me like that. Or I'm not going to go out like that. You know,
Right.
I'm not going to, I'm not going to take this. I'm a man. And then a lot of times, the last thing they prove to try to prove their manhood is just something, once again, just unacceptable, in society. My thing is, um, listen to what's happening. Don't overreact.
Okay.
Tell men all the time, don't overreact. Stay strong. I know it stings. I know it hurts. I know it burns your pride. It burns your ego. A lot of us have strong egos. And a lot of these situations you're talking about, it's just ego tripping,
Okay.
you know? And, but as a man, you have to understand what this person is saying is not true. What she's saying to me is not true. You know, I'm a man. Nobody can take that from me. If I have to leave the situation, leave the situation. Like I have a quote, leaving a situation is always 100 times more powerful than crashing out.
Mm,
Walking away is
right.
100 times more powerful. Just walk away. You have nothing to prove. Think about the next day. Set goals for yourself. Go talk to your homeboys. Go talk to your friends. Go hang out. Go golfing. Go fishing. Go traveling. Go build something. Go cut something. Go tear something down like a tree or something. Do whatever it takes to keep you from taking our God-given masculine energy and using it in the wrong way. Because there's
So
always another day. There's always another day.
right, right. So your suggestion of doing something with your hands to release that pressure and that frustration. It could be chopping wood, or it could be going into the gym and working out.
Right.
So you're saying that there is, because of the egos and because of our adrenaline that gets going and because of the ego tripping, if that is released in a positive way, then after they've calmed down, then they could think a little bit more clearly about that particular situation. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Even after work. Some brothers come home, and as soon as they're off of work, it's right to round two in the house. Give yourself 15 minutes. Give yourself 20 minutes. Ask your spouse, say, baby, can I please just get 20 minutes, maybe an hour to myself, and then I'll get to the family affairs. It's just all these pressures that build in us, and it's like a pipe.
Mm,
When that pressure builds up enough, it bursts pipes, you know? And so what I want to do is just help men relieve that stress, relieve that pressure by leaning on certain activities or
mm.
certain mind mental methods that could just help them once again just make it to the next day. You know,
Wow.
and
Now,
like I said, psychology is not. Well, I was thinking about getting a doctorate in psychology. To be honest with
okay.
you, I was thinking about it because it's. I find myself a lot of friends of mine that have been on the edge have reached out to me and they talk to me and they know they can always come to me for, just something level. They know they know I'm gonna tell them something they may not want to hear, but they know it's gonna help.
Right,
That
right.
makes sense to you.
Right, absolutely. And what you're doing out there in the social media space, from what I see, now I reached out to you because I see you posting and not in a judgmental way, but in an educational way. That's what attracted me to saying I need to have him on my podcast.
Right.
So if a man is reading some of your comments, they might say, this dude sounds like he's talking what he's talking about. Let me reach out to him because that's a safe space. They don't have to feel like their stuff is going to be all over the front page news the next day. And
Exactly.
that's important too. So have you started like I don't want to say support group, but like a group that can be able to serve as a platform for men like that? Or is this kind of what's happening now from what you just shared? Is it kind of happening organically?
It's still in the organic phase, but I am working on and have been talking with gentlemen about, hey, let's put together some events where maybe rent out a convention center and a hotel, uh, and play some music and just talk, talk about life, business, struggles, strategies, just things where we as men can, be men without being judged. Because at the end of the day, many of us go through the same thing.
Mm. How
Many
about
of
that?
us have been there. Many of us go through the same things, deal with the same issues. And, I want men of all creeds, just come through. But I'm working on that now. So I'll keep you posted on
Okay.
the first event. Okay.
Oh, okay. That sounds great. That sounds great. Now, social media has, let's just say 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, social media would not have been such a big deal. But because it's like right at our fingertips, how does social media and everything that's out there and the things that people can see, how does that have an impact on men's mental health, Drew?
One thing I would tell anybody about social media is a game in itself. Social media is mostly a um, s- uh, reaction based software.
Mm,
When it says tell us what's on your mind, it allows somebody to be free to say what's on their mind, and a lot of times they may just say anything. And it goes back to the reaction, because if you get too caught up in the social media, you can get caught up into these, the man versus woman hype. You can get caught into the racial hype. You can get caught into all of these things.
right.
I mean, I'll say you can indulge in those conversations, but still stay in control. Know that when you put this phone down, everybody's outside doing normal work still,
Right.
and but it can get to your head. And we've seen situations where social media has gotten to the heads. I mean, you have people beating each other and trying to fight each other over social medias, and
Right.
it's just, I wouldn't lean on social media as a full therapeutic
Right.
um, avenue. I would still look at it as always entertainment.
Okay. And I think the angle that I was talking about is some of the things that we see on
Hmm.
social media, whether it's police
Hmm.
brutality and that type of thing that could trigger that whole pressure of black men and what you all go through. That's what I was speaking of in
Yeah,
terms of social
right.
media.
No, you're absolutely right. It's very frustrating, just like what the story with the little boy getting shot in the car in South Carolina, 1-year-old boy, 1-year-old black boy. You know, it's and then countless stories of and countless videos of them showing this stuff.
Right.
Oh, it can mess your mind up. It
Yeah.
can if you let it. One thing about social media, everybody has to understand that social media, once again, is an algorithm based platform. So what it does, it sucks you into this zone that you'll find yourself not being able to get out of until you change it, until you look for something else. But if you continuously look at this information and stay in it and get active, it's going to keep showing you these images, showing
Oh,
you it, and then building in this rage that you never, this rage in you that's probably been inside you for a while, but because it's constantly just putting that program and that information in your brain, it can mess up your mental health. It can.
wow.
It can.
Wow, you are absolutely right. I mean, I could be on, and it's almost like, it can hear you.
Hmm.
You got something in your mind, and it could be donuts, and all of a sudden you're seeing a bunch of different things about donuts and
Yes.
sweets, and it's like,
Correct.
wait a minute. So that's the
Correct.
same concept. So in other words, you could almost go down a rabbit hole, and if you go too far and aren't able to resurface and recalibrate, you could find yourself in a serious danger zone
Yes.
for someone
Yes.
who's mentally unstable.
Right. And a lot of people are caught up in that. They don't know the game that's being played. Um, when it comes to these algorithms that are controlled by artificial intelligence now.
Wow, that's a whole nother conversation, isn't it? That's a whole
Right.
nother conversation.
Right.
So Okay, so what are some of the things that you are doing as a mental health advocate? What are some of the things that you're doing in addition to what we're already talking about? But what are some things that you're doing now, Drew, to advocate to help to destigmatize men's mental health?
I'm doing more. One is love, you know, showing black men that, black women do love you. You are
Hmm,
loved. People do
yes.
appreciate you, regardless of what you see on social media. So I'm building more awareness to that. Also letting black men know that it's okay to travel. It's okay to get out, go see the world. Um, you don't have to be stuck on the block all day. Get out the
Right.
block, go see different things, go to a beach, go meet new people, go talk to your friends, talk to your friends, lean on your friends, um, play card games, play, whatever, it takes just to stay, in your masculine, go watch some sports together, you know,
Right.
things like that. But but most important, not to overreact and
Mm.
get into don't let your emotions control you. Letting our emotions control us as men usually doesn't lead to good uh when it comes to conflict. It usually doesn't lead to good things.
So,
So
what would you say are the top three ways that a man can uh, uh, control their emotions?
have a plan.
Mm.
Have a plan. Have a plan. Have a 5-year plan. Have a 10-year plan. Look at your babies. Even if your plans your babies. I plan on seeing my baby graduate, right? I plan on
Right.
seeing my baby go to college. I plan on seeing my baby have a family. I plan on being a grandfather. I plan on being a good example.
Mm.
I plan on being in control in chaos. Have a plan. That keeps you focused. It keeps you undeterred. Like, if something's getting ready to lead you astray, you think about your plan, be like, nope, I can't do that. I don't want to mess my plan up. So I
Uh,
always tell men to
okay.
have a plan, any type of plan, something to look forward to in the future.
Okay. Okay, good. That's good because I was going to ask you. What does a plan 5 years from now have anything to do with me right now being so mad? I just wanna run through this brick wall.
Right. But I have something to look forward to, so I'm not going to run through that brick wall.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, what's another one? What's another way that a man can control his emotions when it
Control the
comes
emotions.
to you know?
Call a friend.
Hmm,
Call a friend. And call that friend it's going to tell you what you don't want to hear.
ah,
Reach out to somebody. It may not even be a friend, but reach out to somebody. But I know how most of us can be when it comes to like counselors and things like that. We just find ourselves too busy for counseling. It takes planning and everything like that. That's why I never mentioned nothing about a counselor,
okay.
because at the end of the day, I already know how we think about counselors and counseling. Now, I do recommend counseling, professional counseling, if you want to take it, if you want to do it. But at the end of the day, I kind of understand how we roll. If you're not going to go to a counselor, at least call a friend, at least reach out to someone, express yourself, someone you can trust.
So, in other words, there's a negative stigma toward counselors or psychologists or therapists in a certain degree as it relates to men wanting to connect with them to be able to help with their issues.
No, I don't think there's a big, maybe with some, but
Oh,
for the most part, it's just time. It's time.
okay.
We as men barely go to the doctor.
Oh, this
So,
is true.
it's like the planning, the appointments and all this stuff. And we find ourselves so busy with everything. So
Okay.
what I'm advocating is just finding things within your realistic strategies to match our busy lifestyles and the way we feel about certain situations when it comes to appointments, doctors, the medical field, and things like that.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. That
Mhm.
makes sense. Okay, any other suggestions regarding helping a man minimize the emotional outbursts?
Yes, travel, get out the city. Just get in the car, get a rental, even if it's just to another city in your state.
Yeah.
Just get away. Get you a room for about 3 days. You know, if you're allowed to travel on your own, do that. You know, I would recommend traveling on your own, to be honest, because what I love about solo travel is that is the real travel to me. Solo travel is just you, your time. You eat when you want to. You come and go as you want to. You can stay in the room all day. You can stay out all night. Whatever you want to do. I
Right.
recommend that, but I know it's kind of tough if guys in relationships and things like that. But it's still just try to find ways to travel, get away, and at least ask your significant other to let this vacation be for you,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, 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 it really does. Okay, so a man is, let's just say, married men. What do you suggest for we've got our primary target market is women. Okay,
Hmm.
so you
Hmm.
got a woman that's watching and they're listening to you, and they may have a husband or a significant other that's really on the edge a lot and under all of this pressure. What are some things you could recommend that she can do to help the situation, other than not leaving? I'm going to leave you. We're not
Right.
talking. I'm talking about
Yeah.
in an amicable way. What can a woman do?
Right. She wants to be supportive.
Okay,
The women that want to be supportive,
how do
but
they
may
do?
not, know how to actually do it. I got you.
Yeah.
Um, One thing is if he's expressing himself, let him express himself. Uh, what me and my spouse would do, me and my wife would do, used to have what's called pillow talk. And we would it's literally like pillow talk. Like it's not us in the bed talking or whatever, but it's like I would hold a pillow, she would talk. When she's finished, I hand her the pillow, then I get to talk.
uh,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because talking is very important to us. Being cut off, not heard, all it's going to do is shut us down. And then once we're shut down, it just makes things worse. So I know it might be cringeworthy what we say sometimes, but just let us say it, and then come with your suggestion. And also let them know, you know what, I hear you. I'll try. You know,
Okay.
that's one thing. And another is time. Just let him get his space. You see he's frustrated a little bit. You know what, baby, I'm gonna let you do you. I'm here when you need me. I'm gonna go watch something on TV or something.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed how far that goes.
Wow. Just giving him his, and not crowd him, and I've seen on movies or even commercials, as soon as they walk in the house, the wife is, oh, how was your day? My day was this, and da 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 da. And it was like, give me a break.
Right,
Let me, can I at least go to the bathroom? Can I,
right,
get a glass of water? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You'd be
Yeah.
amazed. And then even and I know one one issue that's very popular online is the fact of like doing chores and things like that and wanting help. I would say the way you ask for the help
Mm,
does does motivate us, either in
okay.
a positive way or a negative way. If you ask for the help in a very feminine, like, put yourself in a damsel in distress type situation,
Okay.
in most cases, he'll be like, babe, whatever you need me to do, I got you. But if you come like, you don't ever do nothing, just just going at him, all it's going to do is build a shell. He's going to put on his, his shield, and he's just going to really not hear anything.
And he may do it, but it's going to be reluctantly, and
Yeah.
there's that bubbling of that pressure that's building inside, that didn't necessarily
Yeah.
have to start building if her tone was different. So it's
Right.
about tone and mannerism. Is that what you're talking about?
That's correct. That's correct. And once again, I know I'm not trying to get into this, oh, you're trying to be controlling all that stuff. I'm just letting you know what works for us.
Right,
You know, what,
absolutely. And that's the message that I want to make sure that everybody gets in this conversation is we're
Mhm.
talking about men's mental health. We're talking about being able to build and build a relationship that may be unraveling that doesn't necessarily have to unravel. We're just talking about and all of these, Drew, are very common sense, simple little tweaks that can make the world of difference. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Absolutely. I think we do make it too complicated. If we lean on love and we lean on respect, lean on those two words, love and respect,
Mm.
what it means to me, because if it means that way to you, in most cases, it means that way to the next person. If we lean on those two things, love and respect, we can get a lot accomplished.
Love and respect. Those are powerful, powerful words. And it's all intertwined through the Bible and the word.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And and like I say, it's a feeling. I mean, because even before we could write words, we had to get through with communication some way, somehow, right?
Right.
So if if we're two beings that really can't communicate, but if I come and hug you, oh, this feels nice, you know? But if I come and punch you, hmm, I don't like that. So either I'm gonna
Right.
punch you back or leave. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just it's we get back into the humanity that's in us no matter what.
Yeah. 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 Well, Drew, I tell you what, I'm loving this conversation about men's mental health. So as we wrap up, tell us, is there anything else that you want our listeners, our viewers to know about not only the destigmatization of men's mental health, but what can we do? Is there anything else that you want to add that we haven't already talked about?
Yes, yes. If a man, your friend, whoever, is reaching out to you, let's try to do more than say, oh, you got it. Just pray about it. Let's do more than that. Or if you say you got it, at least go into why they have it.
Right.
So if I told my friend, you got it, lean into why they got it.
Mhm.
You got two beautiful kids, you're a great man. You came this far. Remember what you've been through. Don't let this moment define you. Go into why they got it. Go into why they need to pray about it. Oh, just pray about it. Okay. Well, why pray about it? Because God is your provider. God can help you. God will be there with you. When you're alone, God is with you. Lean on God. Tell them the why, follow up. Because remember, that man, it still just throws me off. When that man did that to his family and those kids, those 7 kids,
Oh,
remember, he reached
yeah.
out. He reached out and told them he had demons talking to his head. And all his family said was, you'll be okay. You got it.
Mm,
Leaving him in the cold.
mm.
Now, I'm not leaning on his side, and I'm not saying what he did was right. However, what would it have hurt to just add a little bit more
Yeah.
to what he came for?
Right.
And many men go through this. And all we're told is, you got it, you a man, be a man. Okay, well, why be a man? What is a man? You know, so I would say if someone reaches out to you, if a man reaches out to you, especially a man, anybody, but really, you know, since it's about us, if we reach out to you, tell us why. Let's go into it. Even if you're lying, just say something nice. Say something they need to hear, you know? So I'll close out with that.
Okay. And not be judgmental. That's the other part of it too.
Right.
Yeah, not be judgmental. Drew, man, I just really appreciate you sharing this this very important subject with us today, and I appreciate your time. I know you stay on the go, and who knows, you know, there may be another opportunity to have you back on, and certainly keep us informed of your future events that that you may have. And what I'm going to also do is pay more attention to some of your dialogue on your page, so that I can share it, so that it may hit some other people that may need to hear what you have to say, so that we can collaborate and make a difference. Because you mentioned earlier, you know, hey, let your men know that you love them, and women, let your men. Yes, I love men. So men, hey guys, you know, we love you, and we want you to be well. We want you to be well. We women want you to be well.
It feels good when y'all tell us that too. I'm telling you, it feels real good. We might be hard about it, but some of us might be, but we love hearing you tell us you love us.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Drew, thanks again for joining us here. And I want to thank you, my viewers, for Reset to Reinvent podcast. As we almost wrap up the month of June, you guys have been amazing. So we're going to say so long. Make sure that you like and subscribe to Reset to Reinvent podcast channel on YouTube or on any of your favorite podcast platforms. And have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Why? Because you were born to be inspired.
Thank you.
Are you ready to pull off the impossible or achieve the biggest comeback ever in your business or life? You can do it, you know, but you need mental toughness. My new ebook with the same title explores how to thrive under pressure, lead with strength and resilience, power through adversity, and transform yourself into an unstoppable force. Grab your copy of my ebook today. The Stand Store link is in my comments or my bio.